Hey everybody, it's me as always, your host Gambit896, and I'm back with another video for you guys. First off, let me just apologise for not uploading any videos recently. I've just been really busy with university work, but I just broke up from university for the Christmas holidays yesterday, so hopefully I should be able to get a few videos up between now and the Christmas holidays, and between the time I actually start back in uni as well for you guys. So you have a fair few videos to look forward to, hopefully. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Manhattan Project's Volume 1, Science Bad. This is written by Jonathan Hickman and illustrated by Nick Pitarra, and as you can see from the spine, this is published by Image Comics. The premise for this story is actually pretty interesting. It's what if the research and development program that was designed to develop and create the world's first atomic bomb was actually a front for a series of more unusual programs. This first trade collects the first 5 issues of the series. So we start out with a interview being conducted by a US Army general who was interviewing a doctor by the name of Joseph Oppenheimer to actually work within the Manhattan Projects. As you can see there, there's our first glimpse of the guy as he's being interviewed. As you can see there. Unbeknownst to this Army General, who we later learn his name is Leslie Groves, or Groves I should say, Groves, however you choose to pronounce that. We then get the backstory of Oppenheimer, and we discover that he has multiple personality disorder, and so we get the origin of how he actually came to have these multiple personalities. And then we have Oppenheimer being taken on a tour by General Groves within the Manhattan Projects, and one of the various programs that are running within this facility are ones such as the recovery of mythological and prehistoric weaponry, and also the development of the world's first artificial intelligence, which factors into the story later on in a big way. We also have the appearance of another historical figure besides Oppenheimer, and that is Albert Einstein, who you can see down there in the bottom panel of this page. And then all of a sudden the base of the Manhattan Project comes under attack by Japanese killer kamikaze robots, as you can see there. The time period during which these first 5 issues are set is during during 1942, or for all of you history fans, World War II. So we have America at war with the Japanese and the Russians during that time period. Here we have an example of some more of the action with Oppenheimer and General Groves trying to defend the base from these killer Japanese robots, as you can see there. For all of you history fans out there, I'm actually doing a bit of research myself before this review. The development of the world's first atomic bomb, or the Hiroshima bomb, was actually called the Manhattan Project. And some of these historical figures that appear during this in this storyline actually were apparently involved in some regard with the real Manhattan Project, such as Albert Einstein and a few other people. The reason I say apparently is because I'm not sure how reliable the sources of information on Wikipedia are, but from reading a bit on Wikipedia, apparently Albert Einstein was actually consulted by the developers of the Hiroshima bomb to sort of pick his brains and learn something from his expertise in the world of science. We also have appearance of another well-known historical figure from that time period, and that is Werner von Braun. It's a German name, so I apologize if I pronounced it incorrectly. But as you can see in the third panel, this guy actually has a robotic left arm, as you can see there. And also Adolf Hitler makes an appearance as well, as you can see there. I really like the artwork by Nick Pitarra. It has kind of a, from what I understand, almost kind of a European look to it, in the respect that there's perhaps a larger amount of detail actually put into the artwork, as opposed to some of the American comic book artists that I've come to be aware of from reading various comics. We have a few other historical figures appear in this, such as Franklin D. Roosevelt, but I'm not going to tell you what happens to Franklin. You just have to read the story to find out. While this is actually a somewhat serious series, Jonathan Hickman actually finds time to input some humour into the series as well. As you can see, this gentleman, who is a little bit full of himself when we first meet him, and when you read what he's actually saying, you do sort of come to think this of him. So the other figures within the Manhattan Project actually have a little fun at this guy's expense, which I thought was a pretty funny and nice touch, as you can see there and there. This is my first exposure to both Jonathan Hickman's writing and Nick Pitarra's artwork, and I have to say, from reading these first 5 issues, both are actually really solid, and I'm really interested in seeing where this story goes. Now, I would say that this series would definitely appeal to fans of history in comics as well, and also real world events and conspiracies as well, in that regard. And also, if you're a fan of kind of a mad science fiction gone bad storyline as well, as we have some other really crazy mad sci-fi elements show up in this storyline, such as, let me see if I can find you a good example, such as a guy who was exposed to uranium and now has a extended life of, let me see, 24,000 years. As you can see, here's the guy after the events of being exposed to, is it plutonium? Yes, I believe it is, yeah. It is plutonium that this guy was exposed to, as you can see there. I'll find you another example shortly. Here we have an example of one of Joseph Oppenheimer's multiple personalities in the second panel here, as you can see in the second panel of this page here. They are actually kind of sort of ghostly apparitions, if you will, but they're actually pretty funny in some scenes, I think. And in keeping with the crazy mad science fiction elements, we have the appearance of aliens as well, as you can see there. Overall, this was a really solid first story arc of the first 5 issues. Like I said, we have really crazy mad sci-fi elements, along with a mixture of history and conspiracy as well in this series. I have to say, like I said, if you're a fan of history, conspiracy, or mad, crazy science fiction stories, then I definitely think this would be a series you want to look into. Hickman does a really great job of giving each of our historical figures that we meet during this first story arc their own individual voices and personalities as well. Like I said, the artwork by Nick Pitarra is really solid in my opinion. but this might be from the perspective of having only just now in this series been exposed to his artwork. Another example of some of the mad science fiction elements, we have pan-dimensional doorways and alternate personalities, as you can see there. So, you know, Hickman isn't afraid to write the crazy, weird sci-fi elements in this storyline, I don't think. Also, you know, like I said, there's a really interesting twist at the end, which makes me really interested to see where this story goes. If I had to give this a rating, I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm really interested to see where this story goes. So if you're a fan of Jonathan Hickman, if you're a fan of Image, if you're a fan of history, conspiracy, or mad science fiction stories, I definitely think that the Manhattan Projects is a series you should be checking out. So that was my review for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. But as I always say, leave me a comment below in the comment section, or send me a private message telling me why you didn't like the video. As always, please feel free to leave some comments below in the comments section. And if you're new to my channel and you'd like to see more, and if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button at the top of the screen. And until next time, this is Gambit896 signing off, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys.